our mic is disabled. You want me to enable it? Okay, I'll enable it, but somebody, how do you do that? I guess I can't do that. Yeah. Ask all to unmute. Okay. I think you can, let's see what happens if I do that. So now I think you can unmute on your own.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So Pial, yes, now I want be more than yes. How much did you get on your score? Now she's muted. Okay. Okay, good. So let's start the class. I'm already on record mode, I think, if I'm there. Any new additions to the class? Yeah, right. Now what do we, how do we punish them? Okay. So, okay, go ahead and introduce yourself one by one. Sit down, no standing up. So tell me what you do and which group you belong. Have you met everybody in the group? And anything else that you do?
So I am Arun. I work for TVS Motor Company.
Okay.
I'm handling a development team. Today is my first class. Actually, I am there. Group 5.
Group 5.
So far, I am not actually I think that in that group, nobody responded so far. Nobody from that group.
Is it good or bad that nobody is responding?
It is, I can say it in both ways.
Anybody group 5 here? At least now go ahead and meet him.
I don't think.
Okay. There's no group 5 here. Who is group 5 online? Group 5 is there. Okay. Yeah. I think I know the groups now. Or do you, anybody know the name of the group members? Really interesting. Okay. Now, what about you? Okay. Okay.
Belongs to group 9.
So which group exists here? Group 9. Okay. Okay. But group 5 will be a special consider. I am in group 5. Yes, there you go. Hi, Pial. Hi, very nice. Okay, so there's somebody here. He can give you a discount on CBS. So that's good. Which division you said you work for?
IT.
IT.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So let's start the class. Anybody else here? You? That's all. Anybody else? Yeah.
So my name is Harshit. I work for a startup called as a digital marketing specialist.
What do you guys do?
We are into e-commerce.
You can do e-commerce. Who should be worried? Your boss or Amazon?
No one. We are into global. What where Amazon is not.
Amazon is not your competitor.
Yes. I mean some countries it's a competitor, but some not.
So who are your customers?
Direct customers. Like we also do B2B as well.
Okay. What is B2B? We'll come to B2B in class number 4. Okay, but right now, not enough of that. And now we go back to new share. Anybody else wants to introduce himself, herself, say something else?
Excuse.
Yeah,
People that-
you both are new. Okay, good. Yeah, who wants?
Sorry.
Why don't you introduce him? And then you
Yeah, we know it.
you know it. Go ahead.
So, he's Suresh,
Yes.
delivery manager for the one of the accounts, automotive accounts in L&T.
L&T Technology.
Technology services.
And you also work there? Yeah, what are you into?
Uh,
You're also the same. Okay.
Technical lead.
Okay. I generally don't want colleagues sitting next to each other. So one of you, anybody else, who are colleagues sitting next to each other, you will move, right? Okay? No bad feelings? No, the reason is how will you otherwise get to know each other, right? Yeah. Good. So we'll start off today's class. I asked you over to create a company. There's something to create a hero plot. And anybody else, what all we do? Yeah. Actually, got scared. Okay. So, who else has attended the pre-class? It's called pre-class zero suit or something. Yeah. No. I know all of it. Whoever submitted. But what did you submit about? What was it about? Transponders. What do they do?
So basically, we are looking for the automation of translation.
Automation of
Translation.
translation. Okay.
Where we have the dependence on non-English languages.
Okay. So you get somebody else, but you eliminate the translator and automatically. I think Google does something like that, but it doesn't do real time.
Quality is not available.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So what are the problems that you will face? Why your business will fail?
So there are a few things. So three things we do. Identify this.
Three things will fail you.
Yes.
And I want you to tell me only the failures.
The first thing is the quality. When I'm saying quality, so there is always a dependency. So though we are using the machine learning or artificial intelligence or all those digitization, but still we have a
You
dependency.
need to have an improvisation. It's a constant.
Constant
constant.
improvisation, and that improvisation comes from the professionals. So we need to very minute about checking the details and that
Right.
checking.
Yeah. Any second point?
Second point is might be when we are approaching the market, we need to adapt that market. We need to have a
But
really
who wants translator? Which is the market you will go out?
so
Anybody wants a translator here? The app is ready. You want translation? You don't follow English? No? So who's your,
So
who's your-
it's actually customers were
your
when
customers
we are
are?
working on the multilingual or multinational industries. So the clients, they prefer the local language to impress them. So they feel much more trust when someone is approaching with their own local languages.
Very, very true, very true. I mean, it gives great delight if I tell somebody that I was here, or I can speak with them. Good. Want to say something?
Yeah, I would like to add one point, like I was.
You're also his group member.
No, just.
So what did you do?
Sorry.
What was the app? What was the pre-class one?
Yeah.
Why not you?
Because he did that and I.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. Because I need to connect with him, I was not in town.
Okay.
I was.
I'll hear this excuse very often.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll hear this excuse very often, but I guess we are a very globalized world today now. So I wouldn't want you to say that I was busy or something.
No,
And eventually you will notice that I'll have to talk to you and all that. And so I'm open to any work, any slot, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So don't do that. Anybody else? Any other interesting app or any interesting solution or whatever it was called?
The group came on with limitless solutions.
Liberalize?
Limitless solutions.
Limitless solutions. Okay.
We are creating a solution platform where we are creating jobs for unemployed people or somebody who's seeking for some extra cash, and we are creating service request, like eventually like a platform where the service requests a service.
Something
And,
like-
yeah,
Okay, like a gig world or
it
something.
could be anything, could be technical or be something very quirky or something very silly, like they just want to rent a button or they want to get some homemade brownies.
First one?
Building it up. So we want the scope to be
Yeah,
very
limitless, right?
Limitless.
Yeah, get rid of work. Good, so good, very nice. Good job, all of you. So we did this, right? I'm not going to get that. So what do we need to start a business? You guys have already spent quite a bit of a time trying to understand what it goes into study. Is there a pen here? Can you just venture out to Arvind's cabin and ask him to give me a marker? This, not the second. Oh, I think the right here. I think this will take you there. Okay. Okay, so what do you need to start a business? Idea, okay, great. One, capital, infrastructure, manpower, tools, raw material.
Market first are catching names.
Catching in is very important, right? I mean, limitless, but no, but what was Microsoft before? He wanted to have it unlimited, limited. If you didn't know it, that's what he wanted to have as a name for his company. And what was Facebook before? It's all the name, catchy name. So what was Facebook before? MySpace. MySpace was also by Mark Zuckerberg. No, MySpace was somebody else. So what was Facebook before? Any idea? Online. We are getting more here. What was that?
The community for this Harvard.
No, the answer to that was no, Orkut is a different app. A second MySpace is a different app. The Facebook before was the Facebook. So he had named it the Facebook. And so then when he was looking for his first round of investments and all that, you may not know a guy who started something called Napster. Does any one of you know what is Napster? Yeah, so illegal downloading of songs.pk and things like that. But before that it was Napster. So Napster got killed because he was just trying to break into a large industry like music. And so when he met this guy, I don't know his name, or I don't recall his name. So he said, why is it called the Facebook? Just Facebook. So you see, your name is very important. So I'm just waiting for the pen so that I can write what is the great idea. Maybe he's gone home. Other number. Okay, so let's give it another thing. Okay, so we have. My God, why is it taking so long? Anyway, so online, why don't you tell us 5 things that you need to start a business? Let's wait for the pen here. So why don't you tell me? We ask for marker. Permanent. No,
He's coming in.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, come, sit. So what do we have? We have an idea. Excellent, good pen. Yeah. R&D. Funds. Manpower. Market. Market research. Raw material. Don't mind my spelling, huh?
Audience base.
Raw material.
Audience base. Audience base.
Audience.
Customer base.
Customer base. Okay, customer. What else? I guess we have most of it. Or money is here. Manpower is there. Infrastructure, idea, people. Okay. Anything else you want to add? Purpose. Why? Okay. Why do you really want to do it? That's something that okay. Why? Then we get the others, no? Which is called the 5W, 4W, 5W, whatever it's called. Why? Who? When? Where? How? Right? Okay. What? I don't know. It's just another. Okay. So who is your customer? Why is he going to buy your product? When would you think would be the timing of the product, or what's the stage? Where would he have to go around to buy your product? And where will you go and sell it? And how do you make money? Because at the end of it, it's all about money. Right. So what are the 5 things that we need to start a business? I guess we have smart people out here, made my life easy. So we need to have a team, we need to have operations, we need to have finance. You also might find that you might also have a competitor. Why is competitor good or bad? Why?
In improvising.
It improvises your product. If you see the marathon runners, they perform better if they have somebody running along with them. If you are somebody who likes to go for the morning walk or jogging, you see somebody ahead. Now you have a motivation to kind of do it. Okay, so business plan is great because business plan has got all of these which are involved. And of course, the marketing part of it comes somewhere here. But what we are now going to talk about is not the business plan per se. We have a significant delay here. As I told you last class, I can slightly increase it if you want, but I think you can see it, right? No, this becomes too much. I don't like, because I like to know what's my next screen. So, but that's okay. But this is reasonably visible, right? So business plan is about the entire business objective. What am I doing for profitability and raw material? All that is fine. But we are not here to discuss business plan. We are here to discuss what is known as the marketing plan. So the difference between a marketing plan and a business plan, the business plan is a roadmap for the entire organization. You need to have HR, how legally are you doing business and all that. Marketing is an integral part of the business plan, but our focus in the next 14 hours, 15 hours, whatever it is about the marketing plan of a company. Yes. No. So if you look at a marketing plan, and I'm sure you will bear this kind of a screen size, is that everything in life has to have a purpose. What is the reason why you chose to spend 3 hours here rather than watch maybe some event or something like that? So is that you must have a purpose. And the purpose is, what am I trying? That's the one that I was also trying to ask you. Why do you want to do it? What is the pain point? What is the pain? There is a what there, of course. The what is, what pain point are you observing? Okay, so somebody told you to take, which is more important, vitamins or painkillers? Is important, but which one will you most likely to take when you're not well? A painkiller. So a painkiller solves a problem. A vitamin kind of enhances. And which one do you think you will regularly take? You fall sick, take a painkiller and promise the doctor that I'll take the vitamins, and then you forget about it. So all the time, if you're addressing a pain, then I guess I'm addressing a real problem. I tell you guys, okay, you guys didn't get a promotion or you want to get changed, come join here, the astrologer will solve your problem, then you all run behind it. You come to me, I think I'll improve your life by 10%. No, nobody will go to that astrologer, right? So what's the purpose? Where is the market that I'm going ahead? What is that in my organization that I should do to achieve that purpose? And then what are the situations that I confront? Like I'm saying, what are the 3 reasons why your Aeroflot may fail? Or what are the 3 reasons why your dating app may fail? Your dating app must be doing very badly now, especially after Shraddha, No, it's beyond dating app. I'm just putting it on it. Okay, it's actually an, it could even be an intern placement app or something like that. I know those. Yeah, so what's your marketing strategy? So you got it all wrong. Your marketing strategy should have been, like address not talk about the dating app or talk about something else. So the marketing strategy. Then we have marketing mix. So this entire chart is what consists of the marketing business. Now, all of this for the rest of your life, you want to do marketing 101, or you want to be a professor of marketing, or you want to be a doctorate in marketing, it's all just this. How deep do you go here? How deep do you go here is all that. So get this chart into your head and make sure that there are many variations of this chart and make sure that you get it right. Now, the other problem is that business location, we're getting error to the above. Again, these are the elements of a marketing plan. I'm not going to get too much into detail because I'll leave it to you to start looking at it. So what is the marketing mix? We'll talk a lot about the marketing mix. The marketing mix consists of the 4 P's, and I'm sure most of you know what is the 4 P's even before you came into the class, right? Or you knew SWOT. There are a lot of things you knew before we came here. What are the marketing jargons did you know before you came here? Let's do that exercise. Somebody said B2B. Everybody knows B2B, right? Everybody knows the 4 P's, or most of us know. If you don't know it, tell me so. What else do you know? I'll tell you a word. SWOT. Most of you know it. Some of you, those who don't know it, lift your hand. Perfect. And you don't have to know everything. Then what else would you know as a terminology? B2C. Then C2C. There's something called C2C. Huh?
I think so.
I think so. Okay. What's C2C?
Customer to customer.
Customer to customer. Where does that happen?
Platform.
Quicker or OLX. You're really kind of a platform out there. Okay. But Amul said they are a C2C company. Amul said that they are a C2C company. What did they mean?
It's not themselves as a customer.
Okay.
So they sell the product to their regular distributors.
Unnecessarily thinking too hard. Okay, Amul said they are a C2C company. They're account to consumer. Okay. So that's what is Amul talking about. Okay. So now, what is a marketing department? A marketing department plays a vital role. I think I'll again leave these things for you to read about. Again, at every point in our conversation, this chart keeps appearing all the time. Make sure that you read this chart and understand. But I'm going to get specific to a particular chart. This is our more elaborated chart. At this point, I think I should go full screen and go for the next couple of slides full screen. Okay. Get this in your head, get this in your head. There's kind of quite a few times that we are talking. There is a business mission statement. There's actually another word along with it. It's not there. It's in the next slide. Not just mission. It's also vision. Okay. It's a business mission statement. That's a very, very important thing. Why am I here? What's that thing that I want to do? Even for all of us, why am I here? I'm here because I believe an MBA would help. I believe that I'm otherwise watching YouTubes and things like that. And it's an overall improvement of well spent time. But what do I do after getting there? And what do I consider as a success? What do I consider as a success? That if I get a promotion on the fact that I have an MBA degree with me, that's it, progress. I go up the ladder, I switch into another more comforting job, that's progress. So you need to define what's your vision for yourself, what's your mission, and what are your objectives? What are you trying to do? How do I get aboard? What are the various things that I need? We'll discuss all of this in detail. We will talk about the SWOT analysis. We'll talk about the 4 Ps. We'll talk about target marketing strategy, implementation, evaluation, and control. All of that we'll be able to talk about it. So now, if you look at it, it's everything is a feedback. It's just not that somebody pasted this picture on a table. No, everything gives you a feedback. There is a link between all of them. So now what is a see, what is the purpose of a marketing plan? The purpose of a marketing plan is to align with the corporate mission, vision of the organization. The marketing objective indicates where the organization wishes to be in a particular position in the future. For example, what could be the vision of the Dayanand Sagar University Executive MBA? What could be the mission or a vision? Our vision would be that we hope one day we'll have one of our MBA students who is the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. That's a brilliant idea. So how do you go about doing it? By mentioning that join us, we'll make you Fortune 500, join us, we'll make you a CEO. So the first objective is to make sure that you give the best of the class training. And not only that, ensure that whatever has been taught is well implemented. And it can go on and on. For any organization, you must have a very, very defined mission, vision, and objectives. And that you take it forward all along with the company. What is the fundamental difference? Okay, I'll ask you one more question. Can't think of an organization right now, but let's say, how many of you know a company called Sahara? All of us know, right? Subrata Roy, Sahara. Nowadays is a little out of this one. Let's say I give you 2 options. Anyway, you have to quit your existing job. You've been given a notice by Elon Musk to quit. So you have 2 options. Join Sahara and you will get a 100% increment. Join Tata and you get a -5%. Where are you joining? How many Saharas? No, they could be. So how many Tatas? A larger number of people going into it. Why? Job safety, and also, and number one is not just job safety. Company culture, the way the company behaves, the kind of attitude that the company has towards people, towards its employees, towards its suppliers and all that. I remember one company that I was working for some reason, I did not give a go-ahead to our accounts to make a payment. And it was more than 60 days. And the supplier came back and started crying into the account that my supply of my payment is overdue. So they called me and said, Ramesh, why is it that you haven't cleared the payment? He said, it's our company's philosophy that no supplier will have a payment issue of more than 60 days. Now, what does that convey to you? That you're confident to do business with this company because they definitely care for it. And that's exactly what Asian Paints did when there was a pandemic. Asian Paints told all their suppliers and all that, we'll take care of you, don't bother. We'll handle you well. So a culture matters. Culture matters. There are a few of us who are willing to go to Sahara. That's because I'm super confident of myself. I'm super confident of myself. Let me work for Sahara 6 months. I get 100% increase in salary. If something happens to Sahara, that's okay. Nothing is going to happen to me. So it depends on both of you who raise your hands. And for me, if you ask me today, will I join Tata or Sahara? I'll say Sahara. Mera kya jata hai? But I'm almost at the end of my career. Make some money and rather than retire, right? So it's all about objectives and what we are trying to and how the company conveys the message. So there we are. I'm going backwards. Yeah, this keeps coming all the time, this slide, but I want to stop. I'll quit a couple of slides. Okay. So this is the slide that I wanted. Business mission, vision, objectives, and all of that. So let's look at some vision statements. What is vision? Any idea what's a vision? What's a vision?
You're setting objective for us.
You're setting an objective for you is a vision. Anybody else? What's a mission?
And goal of the mission is to achieve.
Mission is to achieve it. And vision is to set the objectives. Any other comment?
A long-term goal.
A long-term goal is what?
Vision can
Vision
be
long-term. How
How
long?
after 5 years,
After 5 years, 10 years. Okay, and what is mission?
how we are doing.
How we are going. And objectives are the various stuff that you will bring into it. What am I going to do? Increase my market share or increase my customer base or increase my profitability. Very good, very good. So let's look at what a vision and a mission statement is. And I'll go to the next page, which has a better version. A vision or a mission statement is what is wrong with the world and how am I going to fix it? That's exactly what he said. His idea was that I guess people are struggling with getting translations in. And I know I truly understand the kind of solution that you are trying to do, and because we are having don't have a common language, right? We just keep nodding head and nothing happens. So he says that there is something wrong, and how would I intend to fix it? So he's saying I'm going to do real-time translation. At least as I talk, we will be doing, and there are real-time translators. If you look at the G20 summit, there was somebody doing all that, and most of them were listening to their own languages. So that is what it is. And what is a vision? How would the world look like after I have translated? So now the world would look very different. I mean, this effective translation means that there's greater time for business. And if you sit and watch an interview between somebody else and somebody, this guy is going to speak in Chinese, that Chinese is going to speak in English, and then our PM will respond in Hindi. And so then you all the time, I know you spend about 15 minutes to talk about one topic. Great. So a mission is what is wrong with the world, and the vision is how would it look like. These are great things, but unless and until a company thinks of it really big, how will I do it? Vision is what's wrong with it. My problem is my existing degree, my existing work experience is not solving the problem. So I believe that there are two options for you. You could have specialized in whatever you're doing. If you are in HR, you could have specialized in HR, or if you're a manufacturing specialist, you could have gone further into it. But what you felt was that let me do something which will give me a way in which 5 years or 6 years later, I should be able to head an organization where we have people of different accounts, HR, all of them come and report. So those are what a mission and vision statements. One way of understanding product, place, promotion, where we want to be. Yeah, so all of you are unmuted. So you are welcome to talk in the middle of the class. Okay, this is the American Marketing Association definition of mission statements. These are slides that you will read. I'm not in a regular class. So all of you know these three guys. Actually, two of them are in too much of this news now, right now, right? Elon Musk and
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos, you do once in a week, you do business with him, Jeff Bezos. Huh? Right? So we are constantly doing business with Jeff Bezos, and this is Richard Branson. I don't know how many of you know Richard Branson. Richard Branson, we are supposed to have an Indian version of Richard Branson, Vijay Mallya, who wanted kind of, like flamboyant, things like that. Now, why am I bringing this? One is I come from the space sector. I am in the business of space, so I picked up 3 examples. Now, look at each one of them. Elon Musk, what is he known for? What is the 4th one we can add to this? Twitter, right? How many of you are on Twitter? And how many of you are not following me on Twitter? On my Twitter ID, N Ramesh, or you just go search for me, you will find it. N Ramesh 101. So make sure you follow me, okay? Follow me on the virtual world, and I'll give you virtual marks. Okay. So Elon Musk says he's into Tesla, he's into solar city. What does solar city do? When you really start making solar panels and electrification of the world, and SpaceX. He's saying Earth is dying. Earth is becoming inhabitable. There's so much of pollution, there's so much of CO levels increasing and all that stuff. So Earth is dying. So what should we do? He says that we must find another place for man to go and stay, or humanity or human beings to go and stay. So he's saying we will find an alternate dwelling for mankind. And where is that alternate dwelling? Mars. So he says the mission or the vision of Elon Musk is that I must create another world for mankind to go and stay, because Earth is becoming unlivable. I mean, unlivable, whatever the right language is, because of rising weather, rising heat, temperature, pollution, all that. So what is he going to do? His vision is to create a new habitation for mankind, make Mars the new planet for mankind to live. That's his vision. And what is his mission? Make space travel cheap. How do you make space travel cheap? By making more and more space missions, by reusing a lot of things. So look at how a mission and a vision statement of Elon Musk is. An alternate dwelling for mankind, and the mission is to make space exploration cheaper. I mean, as a matter of fact, you guys may not be knowing it. The moment Elon Musk has started developing SpaceX, the cost of space flights have actually fallen by almost 70–80%. And he's using a lot of reusable things. If you were somebody in a buff for following Elon Musk, you will see that he's doing some great job. Great. So Elon Musk's vision and mission is great. Now, Jeff Bezos says, well, I'm also a human being. Earth is my home, and I know that Earth is becoming inhabitable. There's a lot of pollution happening here, but this is my home. I am not going. I'm going to make Earth livable. But how do I make Earth livable? He says all polluting industries, I will move them to Moon and other planets. Crazy ideas. But remember, it's the craziest of the ideas which make a vision achievable through missions and objectives. So he says that I will shift all polluting industries to Moon and other places and make Earth livable. Both of them are having the same mission, but their vision and mission are getting out to be very different. And don't find it very funny. What makes Columbus different from the rest of the world, rest of the seafaring people? What did Columbus say? Columbus actually went, Columbus was at the time when before Columbus said, everybody started going east of Europe to find India. Because India is to the east of Europe. But Columbus said, I'll go westward to go to Europe. Go to India. That was crazy. Nobody wanted to believe him. And he had some great plans. Nobody was funding him. As a matter of fact, he is one of the first angel investments in the world came from the Queen of Spain, who trusted his idea and said, okay, go westward and find India, because half the world didn't even believe that the earth was round. So, but Columbus got the funding. He went. Unfortunately, he didn't go very far. He landed up in what is now known as the USA or the West Indies or the Caribbean islands. And so there you see, everybody must have a great vision. It's only then that you will be able to achieve something. So that's about Jeff Bezos, and that's about Elon Musk. What does Richard Branson say? Richard Branson says, all that is fine, guys, but I'm going to promote space tourism. Nobody is now going to, I think people are fed up of going to Thailand, Singapore, and all these things. Now the new space exploration is going to be going to space. And he actually did that. He launched his own space shuttle into it, a hand around 100 kilometers up altitude, floating on free gravity or microgravity, and came back. So each one of them have a different vision and a mission statement. So all of you following online, or are you all following me? So look at Infosys. Infosys vision is to be a globally respected corporation that provides the best of the breed solutions, leveraging technology, delivering the best of class. Look at it. Look at the vision of Microsoft. A personal computer in every home running a Microsoft software. What is the mission? To help people and businesses throughout the world to realize their full potential. So a vision and mission statement of any company is very important for us to be able to look at it. This is more about Facebook, the vision and mission. And let's look at Airtel. Our vision keeps changing. Mission keeps changing all the time. So before this, Airtel said to provide world-class telecom services and to delight the customer. That was the vision statement of Airtel about 7 or 8 years back. But 10, 15 years back, Airtel vision was to become the #1 mobile company in Delhi. So you see, once you achieve your mission or your vision, you start going further and further. And today, what is the vision? Our vision is to enrich the lives of our customers. Our obsession is to win customers for life through an exceptional service. You don't even know what product he's talking. There's no mention of telecom. There's no mention of mobile. At least there was telecom. Why is it? Because Airtel wants to be a bank. Airtel wants to be an OTT provider. Airtel wants to be also into fintech. So they just saying that obsession with the customer and exceptional service. So if you have all been following this, I'm going to give you a small work to do. So this is again definition notes that you will be reading. So what are the marketing objectives? I think I need some more. The objectives could be increase brand awareness, increase market share. All of these points we will talk later on. Optimize, increase customer loyalty, increase sales. These are some of the market objectives. I'm not going to spend too much of time on market objectives because we have enough classes doing that. But I'm now going to give you this. You will have to create a vision and mission statement for IPL, whatever. I've just put some 5 or 6 names here. But you can pick up anything of your choice. And let's say who comes out with a very innovative vision and mission statement. Just one more line to explain vision and mission statement. What is the vision statements of BJP? You all know it. To promote? No, he said Congress Mukt. That's the vision. I want to see a Congress. I want to see a Bharat where there is no Congress. So that's the vision. So what is the mission? To make sure that every election, every constituency, every MLA, every MP seat, Congress loses and I win. So you see what is a vision? To achieve a vision, you must have a mission. So what are the objectives? Whatever they are trying to do all this. So we will not get into BJP's objective at this stage, but that gives you an idea. So I'd like you to form a group, not more than 4 or 5 people together in whichever fashion you want to relocate yourself is also fine. And either select one of these, and those of you online, I want you all to do it individually. Please unmute us. I thought I did. I did unmute you all. No, where's okay, now it's all you can mute yourself or unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Now we can speak.
Okay, so all of you have those of you online, I'll give you whatever time. 2:17. So we'll make it 30. That's about 13 minutes. Join up as a team, select your own. I really want to see how innovative are you on the vision and mission statements. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts? No? Nobody is doing it individually. In the class, you cannot say, no, sir, I'll do it alone. Join them or so I'll Time out doesn't mean it's over. Time out means that you pause what you're doing. So that means that I can see there is Bangalore Metro. Bangalore Metro. No, I now really about to have only three. Bangalore Metro, Geo. And there are how many Geos are there? 1, 2 Geos, 3 Geo. And what are you also contributing? Okay, what are you on? Okay, so you're the odd guys. Because I really have to get you to compliment. Okay, so guys, you choose this guy. You guys can choose who's the best of the lot. Among the three. Okay. Okay, Nancy. Pramod. Jayesh. I hope all of you are working on one of these. Okay. First, this is team 1. That's team 2. Team 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So what I'm going to do is, all of you write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and grade. Of course, you will grade yourself. Right, by default. So the team 1 will never be number 1 from your own right. So I want you all to grade the others. And then we'll see how it's goes. Okay, now what do you have? Club Mahindra? Okay, listen, what is Club Mahindra's vision?
Don't go to Rome.
Don't go to Rome to Rome.
Club Mahindra as well.
Come to Club Mahindra.
It's an ad, but
It's a statement.
it's a statement.
Yeah.
We bring Rome to home. Okay, what's the mission?
The mission is experiencing luxury with nature, exploration, de-stressing. All these
Okay,
things.
are you listening or are you listening to your own? Yeah, not audible. Okay. So she's saying, Club Mahindra, don't go to Rome, we bring you Rome right at your home. Okay, and what's the mission statement? No,
At the Club Mahindra.
at Club Mahindra. Okay, don't go to Rome at Rome, but
Don't go to Rome ROM.
Hmm.
Come to Club
Oh, okay,
Mahindra.
okay. Okay, don't go to Rome, but
ROM.
and because you have plenty of ROOMs. Yeah, okay, right, good one. Okay, give yourself some marks and also write down on a paper that you can tear and give me. Write down a paper that all of you can tear and give me 1, 2, 3, 4. So how do you rank in one? Huh?
Give marks.
No, among all of them, who is number one? Okay. Yeah, so group 2. You have chosen Bangalore Metro. Yeah, we are not the only one. Yeah. Vision is. Emission free, reduce traffic and easy access across Bangalore. Okay, and vision. To be the best. To be the best. I think shouldn't that become the vision?
Yes.
The mission actually is to be the best in the class, but that become, which will you achieve first?
To give the services to Bangalore.
And then the target, what you will achieve later is the vision. What you achieve tomorrow is the vision. Okay, and to show my boss that I can perform better is the vision. Okay, to be his boss is the vision. Right? So I hope you get it. It's very easier, right? Okay, so you guys got this. The vision is to be the world-class provider.
World-class
Mission is emission-free Bangalore.
Our company is Geo.
Your company is Geo. Okay.
And our mission is to have such seamless connectivity in and out of the world with
Seamless connectivity in and out of the world
with continuous innovation.
with continuous innovation. Okay.
And our mission towards this vision is that at least have one Geo customer at every house in India.
Every house should have a Geo.
It should have at least one. We have a variety of products that we come up with, not just
Every individual is using a Geo product.
yeah, not specifically a SIM card or
Whatever it is.
a variety.
Okay, good.
We have different.
We had a lot more prepared.
No, but you said both the vision and mission, right? Yeah, yeah. We got it. Then go on. We have plenty of vision. Which one you want to select? That will be my mission. Team 4. Geo. Okay, and they are creating interference from there.
One make short and crisp. So our vision is one nation, one connection.
One nation, one connection, vision.
Vision. One nation, one connection is vision. Mission is to connect everyone, everything and everywhere at higher quality and affordable prices.
Their vision is limited to the.
I know. It's
That's what-
give them the new accident. And the others, yeah. What about you guys? Bangalore Metro. Listen, pay attention here. Cleaner, faster.
Bangalore travel experience.
Bangalore driving experience. Okay. We have vision, we can unachievable.
Providing mobility, connectivity, enable accessibility, sustainability, and enable the best of Bangalore view and travel experience.
Yeah, very nice. But when 4, 5, you better.
That is
Three to
right.
five.
That is right, sorry. Right, yeah, so Mark, or give yourselves others. Don't join hands. Okay, there, what is yours? Your 7, 6 has to come. But we decided to change it. Yeah. Oh, you came up with your own company, okay, listen, pay attention. Yeah,
So our company is named as eBall,
yeah,
electrically evolving. So our mission is, it's currently setting up portable charging modules in all modules.
Okay.
20 years. Currently, we have only like charging stations in all central cities of the world. So even like in next 20 years, we should be able to,
but you're not reading from what you have written. So you don't get to, you're supposed to write something. You can't visualize that thing. So I'll come back to you once we're done with this. Yeah. So read from what you're painfully discussed that bit, not start imagining.
Geo, to transform India with the power of digital revolution.
To transform India with the power of digital revolution. That is Geo number 6 or whatever.
Mission,
Are you want to copy this? To transform India, to transform India
the power of digital.
with the power of digital revolution.
So mission is Geo with family.
Geo with family,
That is Hindi Geo with the family.
with the family. My God, okay. Well done. And now you guys are going to score yourselves, so I'm not going to get involved. Yeah,
Ours is one transport, one bag,
one transport, one Bangalore.
connecting every rural places in the transportation and providing excellent transportation and connectivity.
Okay, that's both the vision and mission. Okay. Your what?
So it is Bangalore Metro.
Bangalore Metro.
Mission, let's connect the world.
Let's connect the world.
Mission improves connectivity, insights to save time and open innovation.
Okay, okay. Improvise connectivity and reduce time.
Digitalization
Digitalization
and open innovation.
and open to. Okay, perfect. All of you, well done. Okay, but give me your scores. We'll talk about it after that. Okay, Nike. That's very nice. Inspiration to every athlete in the world. Very nice, Sayed. Good. So let's move forward. I'm actually running out of time now. Okay. Now what is the time? You're going to do non-stop. Yeah, perfect. Everybody knows in some way SWOT analysis. And some of you said you don't know SWOT. So we'll spend some time talking. Every company or even every individual must know what are his strengths, what are his weaknesses, and also is there an opportunity and is there a threat? I remember, I don't know what is that guy's name, Dinesh Karthik, for example. Maybe he had some great strengths. He was a good player, and I don't know if he had any weakness or not. There were a lot of opportunities, but the threat was, just to give you an idea, as long as Dhoni was there as a wicketkeeper, there was no way that he could become the wicketkeeper for India. So there is an eternal threat that could always be there. So what do you do? That's something that you do. But we are talking about companies, strengths of the company, the weakness of the company. But incidentally, what happened was I was going through the annual report of Airtel. Now, Airtel did not a SWOT analysis, but they did what is called a SCOT analysis, SCOT. They said we have no weakness. We only have a challenge. Like, they've now, you don't even say disabled people, right? You only say challenge. So I think I learned from what they said, and we would rather want to call this as a SCOT analysis rather than a SWOT analysis. So what are the strengths of the company? Typically, what could be the strength of the company? What do you think? In my opinion, the IP that we possess, the way in which we efficiently do business, the way we have access to finance, the way we have understood the market, and the way we are constantly innovative are things that are supposed to be the strength of it. The strength of the company could be its own people. I have some wonderful people working for me, and they say, no, that your people should be smarter than you. That's the best definition of it. So the strength of a company is always internal to the company. It's not somebody else's. I know the prime minister, so that's not the strength of my company. Okay, that's an external. What happens within me? I don't know how many of you know, if you near a parking place, you might actually see the best amount of business happening, because that person is positioned in such a place that it's easier for you to park and buy something. So the strength is that the location where he has chosen. So the strength of a company are internal. Challenges, what are the challenges? The challenges are my employees. All my employees are always on labor. They are not fighting. They are not cooperating. They're always demanding better working conditions or maybe better whatever that is. The challenge, my challenge is I'm not able to negotiate well with my supplier. My challenge is I know that there is a market for my product in Nagaland, but how do I go there? That's a challenge. That's not an external thing. That's your problem. How you go convert your challenge to a strength is your problem. But the challenge is something that's internal. My challenge is I have a great product, I have no money. But that's your problem. It's not the government's problem. So there are two internal problems that a company faces. These are the strengths and the challenges. You have to solve it yourself. Nobody can interfere into that and solve your problem. If you have a problem with your employees, then sort it out. If you have a problem in the fact that you're not able to do best negotiation with your vendors, that's your problem. So challenges and strengths are internal. Opportunities and threats are external. There is an opportunity. I find that there's a big opportunity for a certain market. Like for example, I take the example of translation. There is no opportunity for him in India. But there's a great opportunity for him in external world, especially in the capital and maybe in most of the commerce and business districts of the world, where people are talking in United Nations could be his most brilliant customer. Online translation. While I know your name, so I'm going to get so while Josna is talking in Hindi, automatically it gets translated in. So that's an opportunity. You need to find where your opportunity. If he is going to believe that my opportunity is in Bangalore, that's his foolishness. We can't blame, you can't blame anybody else. Second is threats. What are the threats? The government can come up with a law saying that it's illegal for you to have flying taxis. Though you may have the strength to make flying taxis, you see a great opportunity in sophisticated or congested Bangalore, but the government regulation could bring to it. Or like this, I don't know, one of you were talking about he works for e-commerce. Who was that? You. So his constant threat is anything that he innovates, or Amazon could just innovate and try to do it better. So we have a company called Gillette. I don't know how many of you know Gillette, right? Almost new. Now, what does Gillette do? Gillette has a very simple philosophy. Any competitor who comes up with a different product, he will just do that same. So now for the customer, the same product is available with Gillette. Now, whether it's a success or failure, we don't mind. But I kill the competition because I have better reach. A new company comes back and says, I have this product in which you can have a brilliant shave in 30 seconds. But how does he reach? But Gillette can just produce it and reach it out to 100,000 outlets. So the threat could be lack of money. The threat could be, I don't know how to organize it. I don't know how to go about it. So the strength, weakness, threats, and opportunities are the four things that every company must go through and analyze. Any questions so far? All clear? So strengths, the company, what it does well. Weakness, what the company does not. Lots of companies don't do a lot of things well. They are good in so many businesses, but they're not good in all businesses. Some of them may not be, Best example is whatever is happening to WhatsApp, they are not able to get their payment gateway working. I will chat with my customer on WhatsApp, but I'll use Google Pay to make payment. But Google also has a chat site. Am I using it? No. So some things, some countries, some companies don't do that. Opportunity is a favorable business opportunity. What is favorable, right? Or the moment pandemic came in, lots of companies did brilliant business, right? The price of masks, the price of sanitizers, whatever it is, that's an opportunity. How many of you saw that as an opportunity and move ahead? Half the business closed down because of an external threat and nobody visualized. The airlines came to a stop and the price of oil actually went to minus. Crude oil went to -2. So external, internal and external. That's two things I want you to remember. Right, more about this. I'm not going to get too much into it. So what are all of these? External threats. Socio, and one example of an external threat is there was a wine shop which got opened up near my place. Now he had probably the best of the liquor, he had everything going, but the society around refused to allow him to open it because it was very close to a school. So you could have a social situation where you get thrown out. You remember there was a time when people said, I will not buy Hyundai Potas cars because some Hyundai Pakistan tweeted something against India. We love Hyundai, but then there could be a social situation where we don't like it. Demographic, I'm sitting, we'll talk about it later. All of this we'll talk about it later. Okay. There could be a political or a legal reason. Why did we all love TikTok, right? It was a social, the TikTok was the best thing that happened to me. After 4 hours of work, 15 hours of TikTok is the greatest relaxation. And I'm sure all of you agree, right? Yes, no? No, you're a good person. Okay, so, but why did it go? Social, perfect. Demographic, India loves it. Economy, it doesn't cost me anything. Right? Everybody is making their own videos. And
ಒಂದಿನ ಮನ್ಸ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡು ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ತನಕ ಹಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಓಕೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು.
Okay, so for technology, that was the best of the technology that had, right? I mean, it really could sense you, and we will talk about what's happening in just 10 minutes from now. But political and legal reasons, you were strength, perfect, lots of strength, zero weakness, great opportunity, but political threat from an outsider threw you through WhatsApp out of business. And so that's something that could happen. Or, so we have a lot of SWOT analysis. I'm not going to get too much into SWOT analysis. There are lots of ways in which SWOT is defined. Some people call it SWOT. And I told you, we are going to call it SCOT, because we don't say weakness, we say challenges. You might also find a word instead of SWOT called noise. Needs, opportunities, improvements, strength, it's just jargons, but more or less playing around with the words to give you an idea. But most of us had known SWOT before we came here. So what we are going to do now is learn something which is a new management technique, which is called VRIO. Now, what does VRIO stand for? Valuable, rarity, imitability, and organization around it. All of you get your notes, so I don't know why you should be writing, but it's up to you. So, a VRIO model looks at your business in 4 parameters. What are those 4 parameters? Valuable. How valuable is that product to you? Most importantly, how valuable is the product to your customer? I might have some great painting, but somebody, I don't love painting. I mean, I hardly can make out 2 different paintings. So it may be valuable for somebody, but it's not valuable to me. The question is, what value do you bring in to the customer? Is that great value? Then you have something in. But are you the only guy bringing that valuable to you? But at dosa or at breakfast at 9 o'clock, there are hundreds of counters which make dosas and idlis for morning breakfast. Of course, a breakfast or idli breakfast is valuable to me. But is it rare? Not rare. I mean, you walk down, I don't know, any street, you will find lots of similar kind of outlets. I remember the first time I had an office in Kormangala. This I'm talking 7, 8, 9 years back or something like that. I just came out of the office and I saw this thing called 99 varieties of dosa. I was so excited about it because I come from a place where we believe there are only 3 types of dosa. Set dosa, madal dosa, rava dosa, or whatever they are called. So I thought it was brilliant. And I thought there was really, of course, not valuable, but I thought it was really a rare commodity. So I went home, picked up my wife and said, come, I'm going to take you to a very unique place. Now she went, we had that in Kormangala. Now because of the traffic, I went in another direction and I found hundreds of such 99 varieties. So what I thought was a rarity, it's not a rarity, there's plenty of them. So if you may be valuable, but if you are not rare, what is the value that you are bringing into? Nothing in it, unique. The second is it difficult to imitate? So now it's value, which is it? Ola and Uber are great value. Okay, they are rare, yeah, because at many a time, I guess there are only 2 options available to you. Now you have 3 or 4 guys coming in, but we'll talk about them later on. Why 3 or 4 guys did not come 2 years back, why they came now. We'll talk about it. But is it difficult to imitate? I guess it's very difficult to imitate Ola and Uber's success. Ola and Uber have now, there was a time when somebody else wanted to come up with an alternate, but now no. Ola and Uber have invested thousands of crores of rupees into this business, and there's no way that you can imitate this. Or maybe you can imitate, but you will not really get there. So, how difficult is it to imitate? The third is the organization around to help. Now, how does that mean? To give you an example, there's one example that I've been constantly giving over the last 3-4 years, and I believe that's the example that I can give. And also get to know who is where and all that. I have a small chart fellow near my house. Okay, he makes one of the finest tomato charts. And if there's anybody in Jayanagar, let me know. I'll take you guys one of these days. Or if there's somebody in Vijayanagar, I'll still take you there. Okay. So this guy has some very, very unique taste. Wow. And people come from all over the Bangalore using the Bangalore metro. And then they have this great experience of the chat. Okay. There's this single guy on a small cart in doing it. Is he rich or poor? He's very, very unlikely to be rich, right? He just got a small outlet and he's just one man who is doing it. So why is it that I assume that he is very difficult to imitate? It is rare. Forget the word, he is valuable. Okay, good, healthy tomato chart is good. But why is it that he is not rich? Why is he not rich? Because he does not have an organization behind him to expand. Can he expand to 50 outlets? Can he expand to 1,000 outlets? That uniqueness is what he does. So sometimes you may have a valuable product. The product can be rare, the product can be difficult to imitate, but you don't have an organization to support you. Let's say tomorrow North Korea opens up and say, guys, I'm open for business. Everybody comes. What is going to be the first guy who's going to go there? McDonald's is going to go there and open, boom, 10,000 outlets. Because McDonald's has the ability in them to pour $1 million and say, or $10 million and say, go open 100,000 outlets. So, is your company valuable? Is your company rare? Is your company difficult to imitate? And do you have the organizational power to move? These are the new methods of doing any company analysis. It's called the VRIO model. Now, the other word associated with that is, I'm going to skip to a particular slide and look at this. Pay absolute attention to it. Is your product valuable? Yes, you will go down the list. If your product is not valuable, you have what is known as a competitive disadvantage. Your product is not valuable to the customer, and so you have a competitive disadvantage. Okay, it is valuable, rare. Is your product rare? Yes. Okay, you come further down the list. No, there's nothing rare about it. I have competitive parity. My product is very similar to another product. So why do you want to be in that business if you're not offering anything unique to it? So no, move out. You do not have a competitive advantage. You go into competitive parity. Is it costly to imitate? Yes, I have some unique formulas. The way the IP that I have for my coaxin or something like that, which is a very unique. Even the Coke, for it seems only 5 people know what is the formula for it. And so, is it very unique? Yes. No, it is not unique. You may have a temporary advantage. Like the guy who had that 99 variety of dosa had a temporary advantage. There are some people who are flogging, but now there are so many of them all over the place. There's nothing unique about it. You may have a temporary advantage, but you cannot sustain for too long. But does your customer, do you have a organization to capture all of that? No, you still may have a temporary advantage. One day they'll come and kill you. That's it. Like, for example, taking your example as an e-commerce company, you may be providing a very unique solution for a very niche market. You understand them very well, so nobody can follow it. But if you do not gear up, it's very easy for somebody to come and copy all that you've done, because you must have an organization to support you. And finally, if you all of this, you indeed have a sustained competitive advantage. So, but all of your VRIO, you must know whether you have a competitive advantage. Any questions? Yes, no? No, makes sense? Let's more of the same thing. Let's take one example. Yeah, all of you. Well,
how do you come out of the temporary competitive? What is the best way to do? What would be the things we do?
This one, no?
Yeah.
Where are we? Costly to imitate? Yes. No. So there are two positions. Of course, very simple. If you are not valuable, you're not even discussing. So if you're not valuable, why would we even want to get there? Forget it. If you are not rare and there are hundreds of such things, but you're only talking about these two places, right?
Yes, right.
Do I have you have a temporary advantage of situation. And then, or you may have you might be able to address one small market. You have a new IP or a new product. You have enough people to support your Bangalore business, and you can capture the Bangalore. Or you get 6 months before somebody else catches up with you, right? These are the two situations. How do that before somebody actually copies me, how do I survive? Because I die of temporary. And even if I have unique, how do I grow? Otherwise, somebody will swallow me, or I will not be able to do. These are two very interesting. Anybody else has a similar doubt to this? Or is he the only one? Both of these points we will discuss in greater length when we will be talking about a thing called the Gardner's magic point. Okay, But you're very, very right. Is that having identified the problem, what should I do to solve it? That's exactly what. The first thing that you would want to do is all of this is that if I have a lot of money, I can manage. Right? So let me go slightly one step forward, or maybe I don't know whether to go to that point, complete this. Is that no, I think we'll go back to Gardner's magic quadrant and make sure that I have explained these 2 points to you, because that takes exactly these 2 points and gives you a solution. Okay, anybody else?
Is there any possibility like all the things are covered as yes, but still because of the consumer interest, it is still failing?
No, the consumer is the one who is going to find it valuable. If it's valuable to you, I don't care. It's valuable. I have this beautiful painting that I spent 60 hours to do this painting, but so what? Everything is for the consumers. Is it valuable to the consumer? Is it rare that the consumer is not going to find it? It's from a consumer defined point. The big difference between a very good point. I don't know whether to go here or there, but let's go to. The big difference between SWOT and VRIO is the fact is whose strength are you talking about? Whose weakness are you talking about? Whose opportunity are you talking about? Whose threat are you talking about? In the SWOT, you are looking at the world from your eyes. Mera product, mere ko kya hoga, but tera product mere ko nahi chahiye, so what can I do about it? So the VRIO moves the discussion table from you to the value that you bring to your customer. The value that you bring. It may be valuable to you. I don't know if you know that there's a saying, in Sanskrit, which goes like this. If there is a salt water well in your house, will you drink it? No, because it may be that it was your grandfather's well, but still it's salt water. It doesn't make sense, right? So similarly, because that's a longer sentence. So let me give you one more example of this and we will move on to it. TikTok, exactly what I said. Okay, TikTok. What does it say? Does it have value? Obviously, 1 billion users are finding endless way of using TikTok. Without doubt, it's a valuable. I'm telling you, I've been using it. Rarity. There is YouTube, there is Instagram, there is all this. But YouTube needs a huge platform. It's not very easy to use. In video, in TikTok, you just use a phone and it's a very seamlessly done product. So there is a certain amount of, even though we consider YouTube as a direct competitor, we believe that it is very easy and hence it's a rare product. Correct? Imitability, it's not so easy to imitate because they have a lot of algorithms. They have now already 1 billion customers. And so they have lots and lots of uniqueness to the product. So we believe that TikTok is not an easy product to imitate. There are lots of products which came after that, YouTube Shorts or yeah, all of them, but they haven't really caught the imagination of what it is. And organization, TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which has $7 billion. And so whatever happens, they have enough money to blow it. So they know how to do it. So therefore, TikTok is a product with solid competitive advantage. I hope you guys got it. Makes sense? Is it 3 o'clock? Yeah.
The VR able. This other product could have been fit easily as a yes in all the categories. To be valuable there with the cost. Is there other reasons it can go not sustainable? Let's say the nano It's valuable, everybody understood it's valuable. It's there and the cost limited, cost high. In the same way, they have a budget back to.
So the very first point you're failing, it was not valuable. Because I could get the same price, I could get a second hand Alto. And hence, you pushed me, you as a Mr. Tata, you pushed me to consider it and not a valuable. It had a certain amount of rarity in it. The first time, I mean, I remember people asking me, the $2,000 car, do you think is really worth? And I was excited about it. And I argued with the rest of my friends saying that this is going to be a game changer. This is going to be a game changer. But why did it fail? There was no O issue at all. That was a Tata company. That O, the O doesn't exist. Organization, he can pull up. And immutability, I think it was their own design. It's not going to work. But customer did not see the value in it. You kept on saying, small fellow, see, you see, we discussed in the last class. If there is no value to it, why would I? Everything else is not going to make sense. Not going to buy it. It makes sense? So we'll see what's in the next subject coming up. So another, there are lots of BRIOs for you guys to read. We will come back after a 10 minutes or 15 minutes break. Okay. Any questions? No. Without weakness, how can SWOT work, sir? We'll come back and discuss this. Pause. Okay. So the other example of this is blue ocean. What is a blue ocean? A blue ocean is a calm Pacific Oceans where you go enjoy the nice scenery about it. Customer is delighted. You don't care whether the ship is moving or not, but you're sitting out there. Pain point, minimal. Delight, maximum. So when you have a product which delights the customer and you don't really have competition, that's so idealistic a product that you have a win. So example of such thing, this could be Jio. Before Jio came, there were how many operators? 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, all of them were there. And even I was wondering, what is Jio going to make any difference in our lives? He's entering a market where BSNL is there, and Airtel is there, Aircel is there, all kinds of people is there. But Jio entered the market. They couldn't do anything. It's after all the same thing. Like I tell you, that there is no difference between Micromax and OnePlus, because beyond the looks of it, it's all the Android versions of it, right? It's all the same thing. So similarly, then what can you delight the customer who is using your connection for WhatsApp and Gmail and nothing unique about it? But Jio enters the market and is able to kill virtually everybody, and he becomes a winner. So Jio knows how to enter a market, which is the red ocean market. That's a very, very risky market. Right? Now look at this blue ocean, which is probably Alexa. There was no product like Alexa. You enter out there and then you have an Alexa coming out to you. And every day Alexa is learning from you and doing a lot of things, and it's listening to me. And if I talk to my wife, it sings a song. Okay, so you have innovation as the key factor. Innovation, and you get undue advantage. Innovation, startups, new models, they are blue ocean. Now, if that is blue ocean and this is red ocean, there is also what is known as a luxury spot, which is the yellow ocean. So those are secondary. We only need to concentrate on blue oceans and red. What is a luxury spot? Look at a luxury spot. The pain is also very high, but the delight is very, very, very high as well. What is that? Apple Watches. You're still giving him the time. The time is not changing, right? You're still doing. But the customer is going to be so happy that he's going to show you 3 times. Hey, look, I have a Apple Watch, right? So the luxury spot where you can get a lot of money, but you're not giving him any major benefit. You could be some marginal benefit, but it's not major benefit. So these are blue oceans and red oceans. An explanation of that could be, yeah, so these are the 2 who created the strategy called Chang, Kim, and Remy, whatever. So they created this concept of blue ocean and red ocean. One small explanation of that would be here. Create an uncontested market space. Create a new market for yourself. That market didn't exist. Create a new market for yourself. Create uncontested market. Make the competition irrelevant. There's no competition. What's the equivalent of what kind of a service that we have? There are lots of such products. If you spend some time, you will think about it. There are lots of such products. Differentiation and low cost. This becomes differentiation and low cost. You innovate. You have competitive advantage. A PRIO model, you come up with a competitive advantage. Attract non-customers, attract existing customers. There are already people eating salt, right? So you're only attracting those. But here, there are people who are listening to songs in a different way, but you start attracting a new non-existing customer base. And you create a new demand. You exploit an existing demand. That is what is the thing. I think I should have changed these 2 the other way around, but I hope you got it. Any questions on it? You will have 1 or 2, even in the exams coming about blue ocean and red ocean. Make sure that you have understood it and your assignment. I also want you to spend some time putting whatever assignment that you've seen and define it in this way. Okay? Any questions so far? A blue ocean creates a monopolistic market. Absolutely. Anything else?
In red ocean, if the competitive is very stiff, right?
Yeah, the competition is very, very fair. There's no differentiation. There is no rarity factor. There is no valuability factor. There is no imitability factor. There's nothing valuable. I just throw my Geo. As a matter of fact, at the initial time when Geo came up, my friends would say, I got a Geo connection and ask me what is the number. He says, I don't. Because I'm just using 3 months of extra and I'll throw out that SIM card. Came enough free and showed it.
That was the rarity factor. That was a rarity factor. They give free for everyone.
Yeah, that sounded like a rarity, but they didn't see it as a rarity. But now, eventually, people have moved in for many other reasons. So that is, there is no B, there is no R, there is no I, there is only O. There is only O. There's a totally unorganized sector. You go and dominate that sector. Before Tata Namak, there was hundreds of them. They all died because so that is how it is. Anything else? Any other?
So what is the profit margin they would expect?
Red ocean, they are willing to bleed for 5 years, 10 years, and then kill everybody else. The problem with the blue ocean is, you know there is money, but you don't know how to define that. You don't know how much should I charge for such a service. So, but we'll discuss what happens to price. Price is another 4th piece, and we'll talk about it. Then we have what is called sweet spot. What is sweet spot? Sweet spot is a certain company addressing only a certain market. For example, let's say he's saying, I'm an e-commerce company, but I'm an e-commerce company addressing only, let's say, the mining industry. So there is a lot of problem. If he wants to go and also sell mobile phones and lipsticks and things like that, he's going to land up in the red ocean. But he's saying, I'm not bothered, sir. I know my customers. I know they are the mining sector. They are the excavation companies. That's that sweet spot. If you play cricket, there's something called a sweet spot on your racket. That's when you're sure to get the highest speed and velocity. So a sweet spot, nobody is going to bother you there. You're sitting out there, you know your customers, you know everything, but very, very hard to find a sweet spot. Very hard to find. An oasis. An oasis is stuck. What is an oasis? For example, in my opinion, I'm sure all of you agree that Amazon is primarily a city-oriented delivery thing. They are significant presence in all metros. They promise to deliver you prime in 24 hours and whatever. But Flipkart says, I am into tier 2 cities, and most of them have good success in Mysore and smaller towns. But what is Snapdeal doing? Snapdeal is confused. What should I be? Should I compete with Amazon and fight for those city market? Or should I fight with Flipkart and go for the rural market? They're kind of confused. They're neither here nor there. When you're stuck there, you're really stuck in the middle. You don't know how to push yourself. That is what it is. So all of them, of course, are too very detailed. But make sure you understand blue ocean and red ocean. Okay.
So the sweet spot.
Sweet spot. Lots of companies have lots of examples. I can. Decathlon. Yeah, that's a good example. Decathlon. Who goes to that? Somebody who likes sports. And you're not going there because you want to buy clothes for a wedding. You're not going there to buy clothes for an evening walk. You know exactly what you want. And nobody wants to dare come into that market because they have captured that market. The very sweet spot sitting out there. And now what they can do is they can slowly make sure that they give you more variety of products. They expand into this. It's perfect. Good example of sweet spot is this. Or a company which is only specialized in pharmaceutical products. They can do all kinds of chemical products, but they're happy with one sector at once. Right? Done? No questions online? So this is what I wanted to spend about. Now we have what are known as, should I go here or I'm going to move to, I'll come back to this maybe later. You know this is important, but I'll come back to it. We all know what's a product life cycle, and we discussed that in the previous class. Right? What is a product life cycle? Is that every product has growth, every product has infancy, teenager, middle age, and say the word, death. Right? So they all have, but somehow it's possible or using oxygen or whatever, keep that thing going, or you come up with a new innovation and then you have a real survival mode. They tried Alto and Hyundai, Santro are examples of how they try to push it, and then eventually give up. But the growth phase is the phase where you experience lots of profitability. Maturity is where somebody gets in. So that is where I said nobody wanted to interfere with Uber and Ola during the growth phase because everybody were happy. Now, Ola and Uber are not in their growth phase. They are in their maturity phase. Now we all understand the market. Now you have competitors of Ola and Uber coming. If you encountered competition here, they would have killed you anyway. Now they're also stabilizing. Ola is also losing interest. I think he's more worried about getting his electric scooter in place. And that now it's become a commodity. It's no longer a pleasure. It's all become a commodity. We don't really care whether it's Ola or Uber. Jo milega le le. Now the differentiation happens. If this is what you have understood, let's see what happens next. I'm going to get one topic covered, and so that's why I'm skipping a lot of them. We will come back to all of these. They are very important. I want to get one, but all of these we will discuss. So, who was that who raised the question of VRIO, and then you said we must have a competitive advantage. So what you said is, what if you are valuable? What if you're rare? But what if you do not have the, you can be challenged here? And what if you do not have this? Correct? This is what it is. So now, there are lots of consulting companies which say that, how do you analyze any product or any company? How do I know whether this company, there was this startup that you were talking about, there were a lot of metro companies, there were Mahindra. The question that I asked you in the warm-up to class 2 was that there is an angel investor who wants to invest $1 million. Why do you think he should invest in your company? I don't know how many of you actually paid attention to that question. So the question is, if I have $1 million, forget whatever you told. Give me a suggestion, where should I invest? I have $1 million lying, rotting. Actually, it's cash. I don't know, announce it loud, but the government may come behind me. But where should I invest $1 million? Lottery? Or blow it up over a party for all of them? I can do that. So where should I invest?
Probably something that could generate a revenue.
Probably a company that's going to
Generate more revenue.
generate more revenue.
Probably work for some social causes.
I could work for a social cause. Okay, so name the company. I just want you to name the company. Can I go ahead and invest in TVS? Like you wouldn't even take money. I'm answering you, right? So I'm making sure that our discussion is going the right way. TVS wouldn't even want my 1 million because it's a pain. If I put 1 million, I'll have to poke my nose in all their businesses, and he doesn't. So where do I put my money? Startups. But which startup? What should that startup have? What feature should a startup have? Forget the BRO. Forget all of that. Give me a common answer. What should that startup?
Business plan.
A good vision and mission. We have startups have the best. They pay money to get vision and mission. They have the good vision and vision and an excellent website. You know, right? If you go by website, come have a look at my website. It beats Tesla. But so I think you guys look at this slide and give me an idea. Who should I trust?
Consumer happening interest.
Consumer happening interest. Okay.
Markets, potential.
Market, yeah, there. Okay. What do I want? What do I with $1 million? Who am I going to invest on? Would I invest on a thief, or would I invest on an honest person? Honest. Now, give me more characteristics of that person or that company.
Who has the ability to do that?
Who has an ability to do with that? Okay, who can actually use that $1 million and do something with it? So I apart from a lot of things that we do, is that we also support a lot of these startups. And so they come, so we are looking for one seed funding of $100,000. So what will you do with $100,000? So we don't know. And 2 weeks later, they'll all be having applicants. So first thing that they want to do with my money is buy better their computers, and they start buying a what is that, Hyundai car and all that stuff. No, that's not what I want them to do with the money. What do I want them to do with it? Invest. But how do I know he is good? So there are two parameters that we should use. Completeness of vision and ability to execute. See, I must know, sir, I want to be a restaurant. I want to start a restaurant in South Bangalore. Okay, after that, what will you do? That's not enough for me. That's not enough reason for me to give you $1 million. Do you have the vision in you to go forward, up and up and up? But there is a saying, Mungeri Lal ke Haseen Sapne. The guy can only be dreaming. The guy can only be dreaming, but he doesn't know how to perform. And all of us, I get up in the morning and say, do list. I'll do all, and then pick up. So I have great vision, but do I have the ability to execute? So a Gardner's magic quadrant said that we will use an x-axis and we will use a y-axis to analyze companies which have two things in their capability. Capability of vision and ability to execute. Are you in agreement with me that I should put my money there? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go to the chart. Completeness of vision. These are all guys who have some great visionaries. There's some brilliant plans, brilliant Excel sheets, brilliant PowerPoints, all of them. They have some great. But their ability to execute, no, they don't have the ability to execute. But who is a leader? A leader is one who has a complete vision and has the ability to execute. And he says that TVS has that vision. We know that in 2026, you said, right? 2026, you know what he's saying? I forgot your name. Arun Kumar is saying in the vision of TVS, they believe that by 2026, there will be more electric vehicles than internal combustion engine vehicles. So they have a great vision. And hopefully they will get here. But do they have the ability to execute? Just like the organization O that we were talking about. That's why I said, where do you put your money? So in my opinion, Ola is stuck here. They're great visionaries. They're talking about an Hosur plan, all women thing. We will do all this. We will not have any sales outlet. We will not have any service outlets. And where are your motorbikes? Sorry, sir, we're coming next September, next October, November, December. But so what is the problem with Ola? I mean, things keep changing dynamically. Is that Ola can visualize, but they do not have the ability to execute. So right now, what Ola needs is not a chief vision officer, but they need a chief operations manufacturing officer who can do it. Enough of visions. There are niche players. Who are niche players? Players like Ather, in my opinion. Ather is south-based, Bangalore-based. Every road, I see two Athers. And I love the speed in which they go. And they always seem to be zipping on the road. They are there. But they are a limited market. Just for the purpose of assumption, they are happy with Bangalore, Chennai markets. They don't have the great ability to execute because they want to stay as a small team and they are staying. That's what it is. Now, challengers are those who may not be having the completeness of vision, but they generally have the great ability to execute. Like he said, in an electric market, redefining the electric scooter market, I believe there are no leaders today. Visionary Ola is stuck here, Ather is stuck here, and challengers are Bajaj and TVS. If they make up their mind, overnight, they can employ 1,000 people, set up a new plant and go full swing. They have the ability to execute, but they don't have the vision. I think will take a long time before electric scooters become this one. We'll not concentrate there. We'll continue to make autos, scooters. So now, coming back to your problem is that the O and I, now you tell me, where should I be investing my money? The niche player. Because he or the visionaries. Okay, stop visualizing. I'll give you $1 million. Get a right guy to work on it and go. Because this fellow is not interested in my money. He is happy where he is. So Gardner's Magic Quadrant said that it is possible for you to analyze and put companies in different markets and make sure that they either have completeness of vision or the ability to execute. Make sense? Are you all following? Or any other example that you can think of? For example, if you look at the conference call companies, I believe that Zoom is the top. Zoom is a great company. They are leaders in the call, and I think we are also using Zoom here. And there are lots of visionary, smaller companies out there which are there. But the challengers are Google and all of them. One overnight, if Google decides to add another 10 features to its Google Meet, we'll all virtually be switching over to them. But they are not, they have 101 products to go upon. So you have completeness of vision and ability to execute. Any questions on this? One is you will have to do your assignment with this. Position your company on this. So what all have I told you? You have to do a vision on your assignment. You have to do your red ocean, blue ocean on your assignment. And you have to give me a position the company in a Gardner's Magic Quadrant. Okay. Anything else that you want to ask about this? So, what are the characteristics of a person who has the ability, or the company has the ability to execute? They know how to price their product. They know what their product is. They're looking after customer experience, and they know how to set up an operations effectively. Who are visionaries? They know which market to go after. They have a strategy, they have innovation, and they have a plan for the whole world. So that makes sense? So this is something that I wanted to complete, but what is the time? 4. So I have another 30 minutes to go back to the previous subject. I wanted to make sure I do this. And let me. Yeah. I told you. So, did I do one? So what's a product? Can you define a product? No, nobody can define a product.
Anything which helps to solve a problem.
Anything that solves a problem, okay, is a product. What else? Further, more. All of these are products. An idea is a product. A physical product. This would be a physical product. Or even me teaching here is still a product. That's the product that I do. So you could have two kinds of products. which are, which you can feel and get an experience of, or which is not very tangible. So every company has products which are tangible and intangible products. What are tangible products? They have physical presence. You can feel and touch them. Or intangible products are those which don't have physical presence, like an app or a UPI. You don't really get to see it, but it's still a product, right? Even a mail is a product. I mean, you don't really get to physically touch it. But services like a hotel industry is a combination of the physical service, how good was the service, how good was the food. So you have two parameters which are coming out. Now, how do you define a product? Let me go to that particular slide to tell you. Every product has these 5 levels. What are these 5 levels? One is the core product. A core product. This is the exact what somebody is looking for. Let's say somebody looking for water. So what is the thing that the person wants? Water to drink. That's the core product that you want. So how do you say I want water? So the company gives you water to drink. That is the core requirement. The second is basic. Is that enough? Can you redefine what you want? You just want water, or what do you want? I want clean. So the second basic requirement is I want water, but the water should be clean. Now I heard somebody say something else. What did you say? RO water. So now he's saying, I wish I get water to drink. I wish the water is clean, but I expect the water to be an RO. Now, these are the 3 basic terms. So now we have moved away from a core product to a basic product to what is called an expecting. So she wanted water. This guy said clean water. Now he's demanding RO water. Now, beyond that, what could it be? Augmented water. What is that? Okay, it's an RO water which has also got UV and triple layer connection. So you don't really expect it, but you're more than happy to have RO plus. So that is called the augmented water. Now, what is called the potential product? What is that potential? The moment you drink that water, you will be on cloud nine. You know what that water has, right? We'll not get into that. So that is the potential of that product. So every product, if you're going to stay at the core, you're not going to get anything. That's the core requirement of the customer. And what happens from that core to the potential is all about marketing and differentiation. So this company comes back and says, I give you RO water. Then I say our waters are filled with vitamins, and trust me, it's going to make you healthy and immunity and all that. There is a company called, actually they make a lot of other nonsensical things like Manik Chand. But they say more oxygen per liter. How the hell is it possible? So, but then they try to give you a feeling that oxygen is good. Too much of oxygen can kill you. But so that is what they are saying is the augmented product that they have. So every product has 5 levels, which is where you stand. So the basic benefits that you're looking at, the augmented future benefits. So let's say we're looking at an executive MBA program. Well, we'll teach you all about MBA. Of course, that's what I want. That's the reason why I'm here. Okay, that's the core product. Basic product is, I wish you could teach me online. Or I can come to college. That's another product. Then expected product is, I hope these classes happen during weekends. We're just trying to create a situation. Then we say finally, you know what? If you actually complete your course, you guaranteed next replacement. So now you see where the thing is heading. So that is how every product is a future augmentation. This is where the customer becomes happy with an augmented product. So these are what levels of a particular product. Now we move from a product to what is called the next element on the product, which is place. Now let's look at this particular. Now let's look at this particular. What is the shop and how many of them exist in Bangalore? How many? Lot as in 10. Thousands, 10,000 of them, 100,000. So, what kind of products are sold there? Commercial. What does, let's say, okay, now let's take one product out of it. Can you make out any product there? Lace? Lace. So lace, so what does lace, why does lace go here? To sell, or let's say Britannia biscuits. So why do Britannia biscuits go here? And sell and keep their product in this place? Why? To reach customers, okay, and to be as close to the customer as possible. And also, there are where most of the competitors are there, and hence I go there. What does Britannia expect from the shopkeeper? Should the shopkeeper have done a graduation, PhD, doctorate, read and write? Doesn't really matter. What does Britannia expect from him? Nothing. The very physical presence of a shop is what makes Britannia go there. Right? That is the one. So products, what typical price of those products? Anywhere between 100 to 500. I guess even 500 is too much to talk. Right? 300, 400. Now, you said that 10,000 of these. How many of these are in Bangalore? About 100 of them. Okay, very good. So, what kind of products are sold here? Biscuits, lace, chocolates, electronic items. Okay. Now, how many competitors are likely to be there in this? 5. What does IFB or Whirlpool expect from the areas? To sell the product, point number one. To prioritize their product. Okay, that is one thing. What else? Okay, advertise. What else? They are advertising anyway. What else?
The customer, I mean, yeah.
So they should be able to explain the features of the product. They should be able to not only that, deliver that product to his house and maybe even help the customer make a decision. Now, you expect nothing from this customer. I mean, from this point of sale, here you expect the point of place to be educated, to be critically located, to be able to give some additional value. Now, what about Kia Motors? How many Kia Motors are there in showrooms are there? 5. So obviously the number is dwindling. 10,000 to 100 to, let's make the common sense 10 of them. So what is the extra feature that Kia expects from this distributor, which was not there in this?
Here, I think service, because
Service. There should be greater technical knowledge of the product and dedicated place. They should have a storage facility. They should be able to hold it. and they should also be able to help customers
Decide.
finance it. Give them a financing option. So there you see, every place, depending on what the product is, has to have a. Now, what about, where is the place for this? What is App Store and Google Play doing? What is unique about them? What is unique about them? And which are the companies which are using this as a place? Apple and Google are the two locations, virtual locations, but who are using them? Mobile individuals? No. App developers, the new app companies. Now, let's say WhatsApp. Now, if WhatsApp gets into a fight with App Store and with Google Pay, they're dead. There's no way that they can even reach out. So now, App Store or the Apple Store and Google Pay have become the exclusive places for business to happen. Now, you're moving in from a place of choice to a place of compulsion. So these guys, it is possible that if you have a bad relationship with them, it could be out. Now, what about these? Amway, Tupperware, Herbalife, Avon, what are they? Who is actually, where is the place? The place, where is the place? This is, there are 10,000 places. There are 100 places, there are 10 places. There are only 2 places. And you don't get there, you're out of your half of your business. But what are these? Where are the place? Yeah, but where is the place? Every user becomes the place for the transaction to happen. And finally, what are these? Rafale, somebody who's selling a Rafale aircraft, where does the business happen? So where is the location? No, there is. So you go to the customer's place and then sell it. Rafale cannot be sitting in France and say, Mr. Modi, Mr. Rajnath Singh, come to our place, we'll sell you the product. No, in all of these places, you have to go to their place to buy your product. Here, the user does the same. Here, you go to the consumer and make this. So every place has a definition. And depending on what products you are selling, you need to define where you are located. Correct? That's one point of the discussion on the place. Any questions on this?
So regarding actually it depends on when the government they feel that there's a need for this fighter jets. So companies from all over the world they try to fill this form and then they showcase their products. That time they need to come to our country and then
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That's
the
when
first point only the government doesn't go to the
no, that's what I'm saying. Here you have to go to the store. Here you have to go to the outlet. But here the customer comes to you. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, the vendor comes and sells you this product. This is the place where there is no physical location where the sale happens, but the sale happens in the location of where the customer is. So that's the point I was trying to make. The more of the same thing. I'm not going to get there into. That's the. I want all of you to keep reading this. I'll get into specific places. Price. There's another product on price. Okay. So when there are the 4 P's. What are the 4 P's that we're talking about? Product, place, promotion, and price. Okay, what I'm going to do in my class is that we cannot discuss too much about the product because the product there is enough discussion. Promotion is branding and advertising, and you will have a subject on it in term 3 or something like that you will have. And distribution or promotion is or place. You have supply chain management, so there will be some conversations of it. But what I am going to spend a lot of time discussing is the other P, which is the price. Now, price as a subject is not going to be discussed in any of this. So I'm going to spend something like 2 hours talking about price in probably class 4 or something like that. But let us look at these 4 pictures. Now, how much do you think is the price of the pair of jeans? How much do you think is the price of this watch? And I'll try explaining these 2. How much do you think is the price? It depends on whether you're buying it or your mom is buying it. Absolutely, right? You know that famous ad, I don't know how many of you remember that HSBC ad, where somebody like you goes and buys these torn out jeans, and she goes to have a quick shower, and mother sees it's all torn out, she quickly stitches them. So they said, think global, act local. And then the daughter comes back and screams the word. So the price of the product, for you, it is 3,000 bucks. For your mother, it's very crap. So, but the HMT Janata watch, what is the price of it? 500 rupees, 600 rupees. But today, you don't have HMT Janata watch, and I have been running behind trying to buy them. And so it becomes priceless depending on who likes it. Correct? And this is the example of this is all of you friends gather up after a long time. All of you are bunking your offices to gather up. How do you define that? Is it better to go and attend the office or spend some good time with your friends? It all depends upon how you price a product. So pricing of a product is not always what the company is. It always how you visualize the price. So a product pricing depends from one situation to another. We'll talk more about it later. Now, the other thing, I don't know if you can see it properly, is what is called value-based pricing approach. Now, let's look at this situation. An economy class ticket costs 15,000 rupees. A business class ticket costs 21,000. Now, obviously, you want to look at whether it is worth going by business class or whether it's worth going by economy class. And recently, I was reading in Twitter. The question was, why do the airlines make the business class people to go and sit, and then the economy people? Among the many explanations, the explanation is the people who are going in business class want the economy class people to know who is sitting in the business. So I am sitting out there, I won't be reading the paper, I'll make sure if I'm in business, I look at everybody. It's because there's a value addition that I'm trying to look at. So how do business class tickets are defined? If it costs 50,000 rupees and the business class is 21,000 rupees, they say and explain to you on the following features. Ease of travel, the seats are bigger, you get better food to eat, more comfortable, there are no aisle seat or there are no middle seats, so you get very comfort. So that is 3,000. Late check-in, you can check in late, there's no hurry for it. These are just numbers, don't pay too much of attention to it. Now, the point what I'm trying to define is important. Then you may get better food. Then, of course, feel-good factor, that is the feel-good factor where everybody says, and she sees me in business class, done, my day is done. Okay, so, and most importantly, you also get miles because you travel by You get mine. Now, if you add all of that, it becomes 8,500. And so the true economic value of the product is 23,000 rupees, but I am giving it to you at 21,000 rupees. So you believe it's a good deal. So that is how companies price a product depending upon how you are positioning it. So this is one other way in a pricing of a product is done. Then finally, we come to what is known as a very important feature, which is the product versus the C. The 4 P's and the 4 C's. What is the product? What are the 4 P's? Again, one big point that we will keep on discussing in all my classes is what is the P? The first P stands for product. Whose product? My company's product. What is the second P? Promotion. Who is promoting it? It's my promotion of the services. Where am I selling it? My place. It's my price. This is old model. Get rid of it. We are not interested about my. It is what does it cost for the customer? Yeah, how do I convey a message to the customer? How convenient is it to the customer? And how is this going to make any common sense to you? So the 4 P's must be replaced by 4 C's, which is customer value, customer cost, what is the message that you are conveying to the customer, and what is the convenience. So I'm not interested in you doing your assignments with 4 P's. I want you to do your assignments with 4 C's. Okay, the 4 P's are dead. There are no more 4 P's. But 4P itself is not enough. You really need to look at the 7 P's, and then you probably have the 7 C's also. It will come up in the next slide. So you look at product. That's the product that you have. Does the customer want it? That is the price that you want. Do you think it is costly or not? Then place, how convenient is it for me to go? Look, why would I want to go and buy tickets? As a matter of fact, one of the things that I noticed is if you look at Air India or some ticket, it's virtually impossible for you to get a ticket on their website. Now it's all changed because Tata has taken over. It's all about convenience. I'm willing to pay convenience price. Then people, lots of things. Actually, I'm sure all of you have experienced that, and the best is I go for a shopping with my wife to buy some vegetables and fruits. My wife says, I'm not buying this shop. Why? I don't like this place. That's not correct. No, that's it. If people aren't nice, you won't buy them. I mean, I don't know. I seem to like that lady. Oh, that's probably the reason why she doesn't want to go there. So you see, people is all there. Finally, physical environment, but lots of places you don't go because it's not clean and you don't want to really go out there and buy. And finally, the process. The process is very important. How long does it take for me to complete my Amazon cart purchase and get out? Am I stuck somewhere? It's a give me your OTP, give me your this and all that. I go to DMart, I buy all the products, then I see a huge line. Just leave it on. So this is what happens when you don't understand your 4, your 7 P's and your 7 C's. So each of these are very important for us. What are the times? Is it 4:30 already? Almost 4:20 minutes, right? So let me tell you one last story for today and then we'll wind up. So what happens is, while all of these are very important, the 7 P's and the 4 C's, you must also, it's very important to how you communicate the message to your customer. I was telling you about the abandoned cart, right? The abandoned cart is a very interesting story. Now, how many times have you gone to a mall, picked up a lot of stuff and left it because there is a huge queue? I'm sure many times we have done. How many times have you gone to an Amazon website, a Flipkart website, added things to your cart, and finally common sense hits your brain and say, "Ye sab faltu kharcha hai. I will not buy." How many times? Many times. So there is one particular case study wherein one company, it's not Amazon, it's not Flipkart, it's somebody else, who said, "What's your name?" Ramya. Ramya. Okay. He said, "Look, I noticed something unique about Ramya is that she is buying all these, adding all of these to her cart, Amazon or that e-commerce cart, and finally she is not buying. So what should we do? Because I think she wants to buy this." So what that company did was to send a message to Ramya saying that, "Hey, I noticed that nice churidar and all that stuff that you picked up, you seem to have somehow dropped it. We have some good news for you. We have a 20% discount." That's exactly what she wants. She goes and buys it. But do you think the story ends there? She's going to call Jyotsna, say, "Hey, Jyotsna, listen, there was an email for me from this company." So what Jyotsna is going to do? Go to that website, add her card, and then she will abandon that card. In anticipation that she will get a message and she gets a message. So she's also happy. Now the whole class knows about it. Now, nobody wants to buy the product because they buy the product, expect a discount. So price is such a very dangerous thing that just because you want to do a thing, people start assuming that you will lower the price. Okay, I thought I'll just leave you with one small story and see you in our next class. Bye. Hey, online guys have been very, very quiet today. Where can we get your number? Whose is this? Which number? My number. My number is there. On the